Is homework time with your child a disaster? Maybe you are tired of fighting what seems to be a lost battle. Let's talk about how you can win that battle, how your child can get more done in less time. Hi, I'm Liz Weaver of Learning Success, and I put this video series together to help parents of struggling learners. This video covers the power of structured breaks and how to use them to make homework go so much smoother. If this video helps you, please make sure to subscribe and share it to get it out to more parents just like you. Let's watch.
Thing that I want to share with you is a tip that I learned in the classroom and with my own kids, and that is timers. By far one of my favorite and absolutely one of the simplest things you can do when it comes to homework or anything else for that matter.
Do not assume that your kids are going to sit down and do their work in one go. Okay, some students can do that, right? If they're able to sit and focus for 2 hours at a time, say, that's fantastic, especially with our older learners. But for a lot of kids, especially students with learning differences, it needs a bit of a workaround, right? So they need work periods, whether that's 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 45 minutes, right? We can test that out, decide what works best for your child, but you want them to be understanding that homework is not this one and done thing, okay? It often happens in stages. They can do a burst. It's like sprinting, right? Do a burst for 20 minutes, take a break, go back to it. And that way they're working without compromising the quality of their thinking.
You know, if your child has issues with attention or focus, which doesn't necessarily mean they have ADD or ADHD. It can mean, like, at certain developmental times, certain years of our lives, we just have a really hard time with sustained, focused attention. Maybe what that means is that you work really, really hard for 7.5 minutes, and then you get up and you have a snack and you text a friend, and then at the 10-minute mark, you go back and you work really, really hard for 7.5 minutes again with no distractions. There are lots of different kinds of things we can do to help our kids once we understand what the patterns and the barriers are around homework.
Think about it like this. When you have a friend call you out of the blue and they say, "Oh, I'm going to be around your house in 30 minutes, would it be okay if I stopped by?" Well, of course we're gonna say, yes, I'd love for you to stop by. The problem is you look in your house, looks like it's been hit by a tornado. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, I only have 30 minutes to clean this house up. Well, you probably get more done in that 30 minutes than you would with an entire day dedicated to cleaning the house, because of course you have to check Facebook and you have to check Instagram, and there's all these other things that get first priority, meaning you really just are wanting to put it off. Again, kids are the same way. You give them a time limit and you say, okay, all you have to do is work really, really hard for 10 minutes. And then at the end of that 10 minutes, we're gonna do something fun. All of a sudden, they're super focused on the fact that, oh, I don't have an endless, unending amount of time of homework I have to do. It's gonna take me 73 hours to do my homework. I think I've probably heard those exact words from my own kids. Instead of that, they're thinking, okay, I can handle 10 minutes. 10 minutes isn't bad.
So make sure you build in breaks, and I'm serious about these breaks. They don't have to be long breaks, but they do have to be breaks. But it could be 3-minute break, right? Set a timer for that. If you're worried about them coming back, put it in the plan. How are you going to remember that that break is? What timer could we use? Should it be the microwave timer? You know, this timer on our iPad here?
So you can actually set a timer for them for 10 minutes. Get them to work as hard as they can for that 10 minutes. Then, if they've done a really good job, say, ooh, do you think you could beat that 10 minutes and actually do this in 9 minutes? So now you're doing two things. Number one, you're getting them super hyper-focused for a short amount of time. And then number two, you're using that timer to actually help them beat their best time. Now, it can go either way. If you have a super competitive kid, they may be all in saying, yes, I just want to beat my best time. But then you may have kids that it just stresses out. My oldest was absolutely the competitive, yes, I want to beat my time. My youngest, as soon as I would go to set a timer, he would freak out going, I can't get this done, I can't do it. So we had to break it down for him.
It's really hard for kids to understand time in general, depending on what age they are. But for younger kids, you might want to use you can look up time timer, and it basically fills in the time with color. So it makes time visual. So for them, they can see, oh, it's only this much more time. I can keep going. It's almost up, right? Versus them just kind of losing hope in the middle.
So a couple of different ways you can use those timers. And of course, you can use stopwatches, your cell phone's microwave timer, oven timer. You can use any timer in the world. But a couple of things that you want to consider are, one, your child, which you know your child better than anyone else. Number two, do you think that timing would help them if you break down their subject?
I am the mother of 2 children, a 10-year-old autistic son and a 6-year-old very feisty daughter. And we've really had difficult time with homework with both of them because my autistic son, obviously, he's low verbal and has a lot of things that he struggles with. So homework is very difficult. And with my daughter, she's very artistic, very extroverted, very social. And so that makes homework very difficult as well. And I think what has really helped in our household more than anything is breaking homework down into chunks where we will do a little bit with each of them, and then we will work a reward system. So rewards for my daughter would be artwork, watching YouTube videos. She has her own YouTube channel, Growing Up Rosie, so recording her videos. And then for my son, it would be getting out on the trampoline in the backyard and climbing trees and running around. So I would say that that's huge, just finding how you can break it up, and motivators. And that worked especially with Noah and his therapy. That's always been the way that ABA therapy with autism has worked. So we found that it works with both of our children.
There's a whole sheet of math problems. It can be really visually overwhelming, especially for our younger kids or kids who just want nothing to do with homework. And so what we do is I cover the sheets a little bit, and so I just show them one line at a time. And then once they finish that line, then I move the sheet down, and then they just do the next line. So they're only seeing a few problems or even one problem at a time.
Maybe they can think about like a particular reward system. I'm gonna do 20 and then I'm gonna have 5 hot Cheetos. And then I'm gonna do 20 more and then I'm gonna have 5 hot Cheetos. And then when I get to the end of this incremental, I'm gonna finish the bag of hot Cheetos. But incorporate your child's ideas into this, because again, the goal is to kind of help them develop that self-awareness and understanding of what it is that's gonna motivate them over time and what their own barriers are. And some of their answers might surprise you. It may take them a little while to develop that sort of self-awareness, but once they do, then they're going to feel empowered to be part of the solution.
Now, if you say, I'm going to give you 10 minutes to get all of your homework done tonight, they're going to have a heart attack because they probably have at least 30 to 45 minutes of focused work that they're going to have to complete. And so 10 minutes is going to freak them out. But if you say, I'm going to give you 10 minutes and I'm going to see if you can write your 5 spelling words 3 times each and see if you can beat the clock. You can do that. Or you can say, you know what? It looks like you're really stressed out right now about all of that work that you have to do. How about we just do this for a little while and help them focus in on that one specific topic or subject, especially the one that they hate the most. And say, you know what, let's work for 10 minutes and I'm going to be right here in case you need me. Then they're going to say, okay, I think I can do 10 minutes. And it's going to be much more likely that they're going to be cooperative as opposed to fighting you tooth and nail about homework.
And that makes a huge difference, right? When kids go from, it's such a struggle to wade through and that's why they're checking their phones, but then it takes so long, right? They hate it. And who wouldn't? You would probably too, as opposed to, nope, focused, get it done, and then take a break and go do something fun, and then come back, focus, get it done, and you can have, right, depending on your household, you can have 3 20-minute work periods with 10-minute breaks, or you can have 1 hour work period, hour break, 1 hour work period. Like it really depends on your schedule, what works. but do not assume that they're going to sit down and get it done in one go, because for a lot of kids, that's just not the reality of it.
You can also limit the amount of time you request for them to be working. So you can set a timer and let them see the timer, and you're going to work for 5 minutes maybe. And then after the 5 minutes, give them a brain break. Let them jump up and down, let them bounce, let them do whatever they need to do to get their crazies out. And then they come back and they work for another set amount of time. And again, you can wean them off of this. And over time, you can extend the amount of time that they're working and reduce the break time. But that gets them through those longer chunks of homework.
So for preschoolers, you would want to make sure that it's age appropriate for them. So for preschoolers, you would want to do maybe 10 minutes of work and then take a 5-minute break of doing something fun that they enjoy or playing with their favorite toy. For a school ager, you may want to do 10 to 15 minutes of work and then take a 5-minute break doing something that they enjoy, playing a game or their favorite toy, and then they go back to working again.
Breaks are incredibly important for children and adults. If we don't take them, our productivity wanes. We actually lose far more time than if we had actually taken the break. If your child takes breaks and incorporates exercise into those breaks, their productivity skyrockets. It's great for their brain. These brain breaks are so important for learning, especially for kids. I've been talking about brain breaks for a long time. Back in 2006, I created a brain break program called Break Pal. It was popular and was even featured in magazines such as Weight Watchers and Real Simple magazine. The exercises were based on Qigong, which is great for the brain. We put many of those exercises in as free bonuses in the Learning Success System. You can get those just by signing up for a free trial of the Learning Success System. And even if you decide that the Learning Success System is not right for you, you still get to keep those bonuses. Just click on the link above and get your free trial now.
I don't make my kids sit still to do homework. As an ex-teacher, I used to always make my kids sit, crisscross applesauce on the rug, or sit like a lady or gentleman in your chair. That is just, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. And I wish I knew that back when I was in the classroom. Teachers are coming up with flexible seating, bouncy ball chairs, wobble stools. Kids need to move. And so my kids, they stand while they do their homework. They bounce while they do their homework. When we're doing practicing spelling tests, my kids are on Bosu balls or on balance boards, or they're spinning, or they're doing whatever they need to do to get the wiggles out. They've been sitting all day long. I don't need to make them sit at my kitchen table to do their work, as long as they're getting it done. So they can jump while they're doing their addition and subtraction facts, or when they're reading, they can lay down on their tummy or lay down on their back, or they can even stand and walk in circles. It doesn't matter, as long as they're comfortable and able to get their work done.
When they take a break, they might want screen time or something like that, but try as much as possible to give them movement in this break. That's going to reset their focus. That's going to reset their ability to do it. Say, we're going to get up. Maybe they like playing catch. We're going to throw the ball, 20 times before we sit back down, or we're going to have to catch it. Make it fun, be interactive. Maybe they go take a lap outside on their scooter or run around, but by getting them moving physically, you're going to get more attention out of them, more ability to sit there and focus for longer periods of time. So make it fun, be excited, set a goal. Oh, when we catch the ball this many times, then we get back to homework, but then we get to try and reach our challenge, or we get 3 tries, but every time we drop the ball, then we have to go back to homework, something fun like that.
Another one, we all remember those times when, whether it was we were grounded or we had homework to do, and you can hear out the window kids playing outside, or you see your brother playing on his iPad, or your sister playing video games, and you're the kid who's stuck doing the homework. That's a bad feeling. That's that FOMO, that fear of missing out, that, hey, why am I the only one stuck doing this? And so, if your family has a policy or kind of a program of, hey, between these hours, everyone does something quiet. Mom and dad, or whether they're cleaning up or finishing up a couple errands or reading a book, and everyone is doing something quiet and productive, then the kid doing homework doesn't feel singled out and sort of like, woe is me, I'm the only one with this plight. It's like, hey, everyone's doing this. And when we're done in an hour, we all celebrate. We have dessert together. We play a game together. They kind of see that, hey, this is part of your job, and everyone's in it together, and that can be really helpful.
Breaks are one way to get through homework time faster, easier, and with a lot less stress. Let us know in the comments how you are going to structure breaks into your child's homework schedule. It's also important to help your child become a strong learner. The way to do this is to work on your child's core learning skills. You can do that in the easiest way possible by using the Learning Success System. The Learning Success System is a simple step-by-step system for building the core learning skills. Once you sign up, you'll get an email each day with a simple lesson. Do those lessons and watch your child excel. Today, you can get a free trial so you can try it out risk-free. Start now by clicking the link in the description.